You said something that gave me chills. So I'm becoming the confident, self-trusting, soft, and strong woman I know I'm meant to be. Who is she really? That's what you had said.
Yeah.
So tell me about her.
Oh, okay. So she
And
just
how does
shows
she
me,
move through her life differently? You can
yeah.
tie those in there to tell, more of a story.
Um, I show up differently with more grace
Mm.
and more love for myself. And that really ripples out to others and how I show up for them or the lens I even look through
Mm.
of that. So I think I always thought softness was
Mm.
a negative type trait, or I think I thought softness equated weakness.
Yeah.
And I'm really learning softness is like a totally different. It's like a that grace, that love, that understanding, all of that to me kind of encapsulates more of that softer instead of that like harder edge exterior. Like I always had a wall up, like I'm like, oh, you want to fight? Oh, we're not fighting. Oh, okay. Like not
Yeah.
really, but like
No, I feel that.
when I was in that space of fear, I'm like, I don't know what it is, but I'm ready for whatever you're gonna throw at me. And then now I'm like, okay, well, you can soften that. You don't have to come in like that. You can just come in with like, hey, here I am. I'm not sure in new spaces. Like I'm not sure what this is going to be or entail, but this is how I'm going to show up. Hopefully it all kind of aligns and falls into the place where it would be, where it's just taking some of that pressure off too. I feel like
Mm.
from not having to be so like perfect and that like rigid kind of exterior,
Yeah.
more malleable, flowing, understanding, just showing up lighter in spaces.
Yeah. I like what you said. I felt that too, even before it came out of your mouth, the soft, as a weakness.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and this is probably, the energy that our friends were like, you guys are gonna just like click. Because that was totally me too. Like same. Like I've always been the protector.
Mm-hmm.
And like the bar scene and all that. Like I was like, you need to back away
Yes.
from my girl.
Yes.
Like it ain't happening.
I'm not the bouncer, but move over.
But I
Okay,
will
this is
be.
my people, and you touch them.
We out.
Yes.
Yeah. So like that exterior conversation about like, feeling like we need to fight or protect or, keep that exterior and that hardness in us and like softening that. Yes. And like how it's not a weakness. And even that reminds me of you had said something to me, maybe we talked about it on the last podcast, but about softness in our body,
Mm-hmm.
like how our bellies are soft and how you were doing that mirror work even before you came to me. And like how you talked about it was just so beautiful about like wanting to like love your body, the soft parts of your body even more, which I feel like is exactly what you were saying. Like it's not a weakness, it's a softness that like is beautiful in its own right. Like so much around that.
Absolutely. I even got just emotional when you were saying that because, like, I feel like the world shows us what we need to be.
Right.
And for so long, I've had this kind of container for most of my life. It's been
Yeah.
softer, it's been rounder. And for so long, I've wanted to change it into something harder or
Mm-hmm.
stronger or like more like built or tighter
Mm-hmm.
because that's what you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be strong and you're supposed to be whatever it is. And like really leaning into that softness has been so helpful to like realize that that's a lot of bullshit.
I mean, it's a
And
different kind of strength.
it is, yes. And it takes a lot, I feel like, to show up strong in a soft situation and not just be strong and rigid.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I can attest to that as a parent. Like when I feel like I just want to be the strong and like disciplinary kind of strong, and it's like they actually need softness and love and like same,
Mhm.
same for self,
Yes.
which is what I think a lot of parents like go through is like we're supposed to be this, we're supposed to be disciplinary, we're supposed to control this situation. It's like, and we are humans, we have needs, and we also need to, show that to the little people that don't know what the heck they're doing,
Mhm.
and showing them love. So I can see how that relates to me for sure as a parent. Like so many times there's like, okay, that was a mean girl thing. That not
Yes.
do that.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So I'm curious about this part. So then, um, what does she, of course, you, the stronger, self-trusting, confident you, what does she no longer tolerate?
Ooh. I'm still learning what I don't fully tolerate, but I'm taking a beat on things and actually checking in with myself and how my actual body feels or my mind even feels before I like am like, yes, let's do that. And running that through like a filter of, does this really align?
Yeah.
If I show up for this, how am I going to show up for that? And I've
Mhm.
already committed to that. How is that all going to play together? So I'm still learning on what my full like non-negotiables are, but I'm getting stronger at knowing if it's like a yes or no, and almost like an instant yes or no.
Mm.
Like that, not that wavering, should I?
Maybe. Yep.
Should I? Okay, if I did that, how would XYZ look? Like
Mhm.
for almost gain than just how is it going to make me feel?
Mhm.
So I have to feel good in order to do X, Y, or Z,
Mhm.
is the way I'm more showing up and still learning how that goes and what that is. And sometimes it's like, oh, I showed up for that, and that actually was not quite what I wanted.
There's
So,
been
like,
learning.
in the future, let's just remember that might be a boundaries, maybe on time or space or something that makes it still feel like I can say yes, but how can I say yes that it doesn't deplete?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's huge. That is I mean, even that is something that I think that you're on the edge, right? And I love that you said boundaries. That's
Mhm.
exactly what I was thinking too, is like those boundaries of like when we step into the confidence, the strength, and all of these pieces of us that we're like becoming more aware of and more familiar with. It's like, we do start to set more boundaries and have more um, hard stops or lines to give protection to the
Mhm.
fact that like you're doing the work to grow along the way. And certain clients or certain people in your life that um, you know they're going to recognize it because maybe that wasn't the case before,
Yes.
and there comes a time where we get to continue to choose that for ourselves and express it and communicate it and show like, yeah, I'm no longer going to accept this
Mhm.
because it doesn't support me. And that's really what we're doing, right? We're releasing the things that no longer serve us so that we can make space for the things that are going to support our growth and our evolution and the way that we're evolving in our businesses and our life.
Yep.
You're like,
Absolutely.
yes,
That's 100% like what when I do breath work, that as
yes.
you're saying that, that is literally one of the things I say is like breathing and letting go of what no longer serves so that we can make space for. And that just brought me to something completely unrelated, but it is related.
Yeah.
Um, I've truly been making more space in my home too.
Mm. Like
Like
decluttering or
decluttering, just if even allowing things into my house.
ooh, yeah, discerning.
Yeah, what is
Mhm.
this? Is this just going to be a thing that goes into the junk pile and then in 6 months I'm going to have to donate it,
Right.
kind of a thing? Or is this something that I'm going to want long term? Is it worth it?
Mhm.
And by knowing my worth and trusting myself, I feel like okay.
That was weird.
Thank you, whoever that was.
AI.
Oh, was it?
You
Do you have
gotta
like a Siri, but
feedback.
not a Siri? Like a
I never
Google?
use it. I must have clicked the button.
Oh, sure. And it was like,
Oh, because I
hey.
stepped on.
Oh,
Anyway, awkward moment.
hey, squirrel.
I don't even remember what we were talking about, but if it's repeated back,
Yes, the self-trust and discerning, like knowing just
clear
for
your
stuff.
space.
Yeah,
Yeah, how much
just
stuff?
stuff. And it's created so much more space that I feel like in my body and in my like not tripping on things or they have a place. Things.
Yeah. I hear intentional again.
Yes,
The
yes.
intentionality,
Yep.
and what we bring into our environment. And I have an example of that even from my daughter yesterday. She deep cleaned her closet under her bed because she had to. She lost a bet with me. But I loved it because she once she got into it, she was like, "Ah." But
Yes.
then by the time she was ready to go to bed, get this, which I'm sure you can relate, like we can all relate to on some level with this, what we're talking about, like decluttering and getting in there and digging things out and how then there's a void.
Mm-hmm.
There's a void that ends up being when we do remove those things that are no longer serving us and they don't have a purpose and they don't have a place.
Mm-hmm.
There's a void. And then that is where you're like, ah, I need to fill it with something.
Yes.
And she was feeling that last night at bedtime. She was like, and she was articulating it so well. I was like, hear you. And she was
Oh,
like, Mom, I'm really nervous to go to bed. Like it feels so different in there because there isn't as much stuff. My stuff keeps me feeling safe. She literally told me that.
oh my gosh. And I think I can relate to that
Yeah,
because I think that
everything's energy.
it is. And you kind of surround yourself with things and then you kind of pile them on, whether it's external things, whether it's stories that you keep saying, you kind of just keep that around you and keep that like barrier to keep you safe, to protect you from something, but it might not be, it might be stopping you, not
Right.
protecting you.
Mhm.
So yeah, I
So
can
questioning
totally,
that is
yep.
important, like in general, wherever you're at in your timeline of what's happening, that's where it's important to ask yourself or have someone ask those questions and give the grace that we've been talking about, give that compassion to ourselves to be like, well, I never looked at it that way. I never thought about it that way. Because we all do that. We all don't know. I mean, we're just going through and we don't know what we don't know. I think that's the theme today.
Yes.
And just remembering like once we know, then we have a choice. Then we can make a decision about what we have found to say, is this serving me? How can it serve me? Or can I let it go? Bless and release it.
Yes. Yes.
Just let it go.
And I'm like, somebody else might find this so great.
Yeah.
So if I'm holding on to it and that could help that person or be something, a treasure for that person, like, there you go.
Yep. I believe in that too. Okay. Thinking about the photo shoot energy and the photos, I want to go back to that a little bit deeper. Okay. Before I touched on that. So let's talk about the reveal moment a little bit more. You were worried about how you'd look. And then you saw her. So what did you actually see when you looked at your photos?
I feel like I saw so much. Like I saw me, but I also saw different versions of me that needed love in that and in seeing myself. It was really neat. It was a very like layered experience, not just like, oh look, there's me now. It just was like, oh wow. I could kind of see how like different versions of me showed up to show up as her. And there was like more of that softness that I hadn't seen in a while, and more of a light that I had seen in myself in those pictures that I haven't seen or felt for a really long time.
Yeah, that reminds me, do you remember our first session? Our first coaching session, it was come home to yourself. Do you remember doing the visualization?
Yes.
It's like going back to it's like a 5 to 10 minute visualization, but
Yeah.
going back to your past selves
Yep.
and then bringing them back into yourself.
Yes.
That's what it just reminded me of when you said that you like your reveal, like that feeling that you had. It reminded me of that first session where I take you through that process.
Yes.
And do you remember how you responded to that? No,
No.
you got emotional
Okay.
and you were like, wow. And I was like, oh my gosh. And you were like, I think you were actually the first person that I did that visualization with.
Okay.
So I was like, I was all nervous about it. And it was so quick. I mean, it was like 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And I just remember you being so emotional. I was like, oh my gosh, like, damn, this works, or like this is like powerful, this is helpful. And so now to hear you talk about how that's the feelings were coming back about those past versions coming back, and you don't even remember it. It's like, oh,
I do remember
that's juicy.
I do remember you walking through me through that, but I didn't remember the exact details until you did say that. But I still don't remember the exact details of that whole. We need to go back and listen to those thoughts.
Yeah.
I've listened to parts of them, but not the whole them in the entirety.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's a lot, but a lot of it's like now together. But it's cool for you to go back and hear that stuff too, along the way. So um, okay, on that same vein, what shifted in how you viewed your body and presence when you saw your photos?
I So one thing that I've been trying to do for several years is follow different people on the internet that look similar to me, different than me, and like all different like sizes maybe. Like somebody
Okay.
bigger, somebody my ish size, smaller, and then somebody even smaller. And by seeing all those people, I look at them and I'm like, wow, they're so beautiful. And I was able to actually look at my pictures and be like, she is so beautiful. Like you are so beautiful. Where I had always thought, I don't know what I had thought. I think I was too afraid to look at myself to even be open to what I thought.
Mm.
So seeing that, I was like, oh, wow, look at me. Like,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, I love that. I love that idea of like intentionally following different sizes and shapes and like different walks of life and people, and using that as a tool to empower yourself to love you, because we're all beings, we're all walking around, and guarantee all those people have insecurities about their bodies too. I don't know if that's what they specifically talk about or anything like that.
Some of them do. And
yeah,
it's, I mean, you don't know what you don't know with people, what's under their clothes. And you think of like a size. So that might be a visual that, like, I had a visual of like this size must only be like this. So underneath things, that's how they probably look.
Yeah.
And then seeing different people who are open to being like, no, this is my size, and look at my softness, or look at this part, and seeing that like from this size to this size, we all kind of have the same thing.
Yeah.
We're all looking at the same parts, different bodies, different shapes, different feels maybe to the body and shape, but we all kind of are. I think it comes to like accepting what we all look like. And I didn't know that people that were like that same, different than me, had the same thoughts maybe, or that some things looked similar on them as to me, where I thought it was such a unique kind of thing. Like I was unique compared to, and then I'm like, oh wait, girl, you look like that underneath that too. I love that for you. I love that. Like I love that you have that and I have that, and we're in very different containers.
Yeah.
And we both can love it, because you can love it at that, and you can love it at that, and I can love it at this.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I've never thought about it like using social media in a powerful tool way. There's a power tip for y'all listening.
I try to use it, and that goes for mental stuff too. Like if it's not serving me and it doesn't feel aligned, or it feels like a comparing thing in
Mhm.
a judgmental way,
Yeah.
moving on. Like
Mhm.
that, I don't want to see that in my feed because there's enough of that everywhere else in the
Right.
world. If this is something I can curate, I want to see people who love themselves and love themselves in different containers so that I can love myself and know that if I think they're worthy, then I'm fully worthy as well.
Yeah. Oh, I
So,
love that.
yeah.
I love that. Thank you for taking us through that. Okay, there was a damn moment. Literally, you said "damn" for your reveal, or you
Yes.
know. So, what did that moment feel like in your body?
I think it was a sense of safety.
Mm.
Like you had said that your daughter had felt. That is something that I feel like, again, upbringing or whatever, like you need to be a certain way, you need to look a certain way, kind of thing. I felt like this container I was in wasn't safe because I didn't be in that mold of the container that I should be.
Mhm.
And feeling the safety in my body, like, oh, I can feel all those things, worthiness, trusting, self-confidence, bold, soft in that. And that's what I look like while being all of that parts.
That deserves a damn.
Yes, yes, yes. And I was like, oh, wait, I look like that? Okay, okay. I need to smile like that or look like that more often, or maybe not, depending upon the situation.
Depending on which one we're talking about.
Maybe not in this situation, but yes, in that one.
Yeah. Okay. So, you said your photos um, feel like a medal, a token of what you did for yourself. What do those images represent to you now?
I think that confidence, that boldness to step out and to put myself in a different place than where I had been. That felt like I haven't run a marathon, but I used to do like 5Ks and it felt really
Okay.
good to like show up, do it, and then hit that finish line.
Mhm.
And that wasn't the finish line, but it was also like, look, okay, I have a tangible of how like I want
Mm.
to feel and how now I do feel that I have this representation, like an actual picture that's like, ooh, yay.
Yeah.
And like something to celebrate, something to congratulate myself on,
Mhm.
be grateful that I showed up and did it. And I have the actual, like I said, tangible.
Mhm. Yeah. So, what do they remind you of? What are they remind you of? Maybe on the days that you don't feel like that, you forget.
Uh, those are very, very powerful because sometimes, we just all have bad days. And sometimes I look at them and I'm like, um, continue on. But then I'm like, oh, wait, I'm that girl and I'm this girl. And I can be all of those and still love the version of me that maybe doesn't feel like that today
Mhm.
and love the version of me that does feel like that on the days that I do.
Yeah, that feels like right, like it's a remembering.
Hmm.
Like, oh, I remember now. Huh, I don't feel like it. This is why I can't trust my own feelings a lot of the times. When we were talking about like, oh, I have to feel it and then move from there. Like sometimes I just cannot wait for me to feel like it makes sense. I have to make a decision more logically, and then in that decision, in that choice that I've made, then it's a boost to remember like, oh shit, well, I can do hard things anyway, so I can show up and do this thing that's
Yes.
uncomfortable. And on the days that I don't remember that, or that I'm losing sight of that and it's not as strong because maybe my morning routine is discombobulated,
Yep.
and then we get to those points, like it's one of those reminders that she's still there,
Hmm.
that she can be drawn back out, and she can have a say.
Yes. Yep.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
I love that. Okay, so in the last 6 months, since that's like about the time frame that we've had since talking last, How have you continued choosing yourself? Is there anything you want to add to what you've already shared so far?
No, I think just showing up for myself has been the biggest piece to the confidence and self-trust.
Yeah. Continuing to choose you.
Mm-hmm. And putting me first. I mean, I know it's super cliche to like you put the oxygen mask on yourself,
Right.
but when I was trying to put the oxygen mask on other people, it truly was not serving me at all.
Mhm.
And it was actually like so much withering away from that self-trust because I was outsourcing so much of that
Mhm.
that I didn't even know who I was to show up for myself.
Mhm. Yeah, you've totally lost sight of her.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And I think that's where a lot of that darkness had come from. And that like those feelings were now it's getting brighter. And I know by doing what I'm currently doing and showing up for myself, that's how the light gets fanned or the flame gets fanned and it gets brighter and stronger. And I can feel bolder and more confident.
Yeah, because you've seen that evidence that
Yep,
you mentioned, you're seeing
absolutely.
that stuff stack up and that it's making a difference and you're seeing the change. Okay, so you mentioned that, this has impacted the people around you too. So how are others experiencing you differently now?
I think, well, parts I think people haven't fully gotten to see a lot of it.
Okay.
I'm still, not that I'm hiding, but I'm still becoming and evolving into who I want to be. But I think in my closest relationships, I think communication has been a big thing. And
Yeah.
by utilizing my voice and hearing that I can be heard makes me feel confident in what I want to say
Mm-hmm.
in
Yeah.
those relationships and friendships, partnerships.
Right. Yeah, the communication is huge
Mm-hmm.
because that's where you also get more of a sense of safety when you're communicating and expressing what's true for you and what you need, like going back to the needs.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yes, and being more open with myself on what I need, but then also communicating it with others instead of
Mhm.
just trying to figure it all out for myself. Like then asking for help. Like, okay, I can't maybe do this. So I need some help.
I need to change. Yeah,
Yep.
make the change. Okay, you said you feel unstoppable. What does that actually mean to you?
I feel like almost like the um whatever in motion, that Murphy's Law or whatever, something in motion always keeps in motion kind of thing.
Yep.
And then something at rest stays at rest. And I feel like I was at rest for so long and now that ball is rolling and like it may maneuver around some obstacles, but it's not stopping. It's continuing to move forward.
Mm. Momentum.
Yes, momentum. And I always think of the Unstoppable song by yeah.
I thought for a second you were trying to remember who sang. I was like, don't
Yes.
ask me.
Yes.
I know the song for sure, but I can never.
Yes.
Don't
Yep.
ask me, but you're right.
Yep. So yeah. And
Yeah.
it's so true. Like just that momentum and moving forward and it's not stopping. So I'm
Again,
just
that's the
here for
confidence in action, taking the step out and trusting yourself to just like go with it in a different way than just not having any intention, you know? So you are unstoppable when you get that ball in motion and you know that you're in the direction that is aligned for you, that is true for you, and keep the ball rolling with doing those little things,
yeah.
adding to it. So okay. Okay, let's talk about future vision. So thinking about 1 to 3 years in the future, looking ahead, who is the woman you're becoming? Talk about her.
I think unstoppable part is definitely like I'm still going.
Yeah.
And I'm continuing on this path. And again, I have more evidence of what's been working. So I'm able to show up more bold, more confident in the spaces that I want to show up in.
Mhm.
I'm not fully sure of what those exact details are, but I know and trust that, again, by keeping that momentum, keeping that ball moving, even slowly, that I'm going to be that girl, that
Mhm.
woman who shows up as like that bold, soft, understanding, grace-filled person that can do whatever I want to do
Mhm.
and make it happen.
What is she creating and experiencing?
I feel like the life that I've wanted to live, that I kind of halted on for a while, and doing the different things, showing up in like whether it's being more outdoorsy or trying something new that I would have never thought to even try new,
Mhm.
being able to confidently go and be in that space instead
Mhm.
of being held back by myself.
Yeah. Does it 1 to 3 years? How does it look for like your business, your breath work? Do you see any expansion in the
Yes,
future for all of those things
yes.
that your gift that you're bringing?
Yep. I don't know the exact details on
Yeah.
that. And that's what I'm being very much open for, but
Okay.
the growth, the evolution of what that needs to look like for me. And I feel like as I'm like blooming or whatever in this space, I feel like I'm more willing to put myself in different situations and try
Yeah.
different parts of my business than I maybe would have before. Because I'm
Mhm.
like, let's see if it'll work. What can I learn from it? Okay, that might not work. So I don't want to do that again. Maybe this is the avenue. So I think that just being more open to different opportunities and finding maybe what that more traveled path looks like for me instead of just this like new path that I'm still seeking, I guess, right now
Yeah.
and searching for and navigating
Mhm.
through.
Yeah. I like that openness and being, in the flow of how that unfolds.
Mhm. And I think it feels so empowering because being closed off to the different, the new for so long, I can see how detrimental that was
Mhm.
to the life that I thought I wanted to live
Mhm.
because I wasn't really living. I was just kind of like hanging out.
Mhm. Yeah. Living.
Yep.
She's living.
Yes. And I'm excited to see like what kind of communities and people I continue to meet because the people that I've been meeting already along the way, I'm like, okay, they're really awesome and cool. And if I can meet that person, what's the next person I can kind of meet,
Mhm.
and just
Yeah, I love that.
being open to that.
Yeah, that's huge. Getting around different energies of people and feeling out like how do you play in that space
Hmm.
and how do you connect or align with those people or what can you collaborate together with.
Yes. Yes. And that's been cool. Collaborations and seeing the different opportunities with that.
Hmm. Yeah, I love that. Okay, so let's talk to the woman that's listening and for the woman who feels the fear that you once felt, what would you say to her about the Muse experience specifically, like the hesitation and like
Sure.
your story of like how you got to the point of doing the music experience? What would you say to the woman that's listening that's felt that fear?
I think show up anyways, because the fear is always going to be there
Mm.
in so many situations. So showing up for yourself and knowing that you're worthy of this experience and worthy of loving yourself. Where sometimes I think we don't always see or realize that for ourselves. We might see it and love it, our spouse, our children, our family, but we don't always, and we want them to do things and we're encouraging to them to like
Yeah.
do it. Oh yeah, we got you. But then having your own back and being like, no, I got you. We can do this. It might be scary. We're gonna make it. And what's the best thing that can happen out of this instead of like just watching others and encouraging others, actually encouraging ourselves.
Mhm. Yeah, I love that. I love that
And
you
it's
say
not,
the best.
yes. And it's really not that scary too. I mean, it is, but it's not.
I like that you say it's always gonna, the fear is always gonna be there, because I believe that's true. Like even the most confident woman that you might see, like, oh my gosh, she's a 10, or like, I'm sure she didn't care. No, they all care.
Yes.
They all have this, hesitation, because it still is unfamiliar, to some level, to every single woman that does any kind of breakthrough boudoir experience, or the Muse experience specifically. Like there are layers that go along with this, especially the work that you're doing with me, like with coaching, photography, and podcasts. Like it's such deep work that like the fear is going to be there regardless. Yes. I love that you say that, because that's true.
Yes.
That has been a through line for 15 years that I've talked to women about stepping out of their comfort zone and doing anything that's remotely not familiar. It's always going to be there. You got to get ready to just go.
Yes. And I think too, it has helped me come like a little bit more face to face with some of those things that like were my shadows.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really shed light on those and allowed me to love those parts or those things about myself or situations that I thought I could just kind of control. It helps me just have that like softness and understanding around that too. Mm-hmm. So I feel like the amount that you can learn about yourself is huge. And if you're willing to be open to that, if you're just wanting an experience to take some pictures, yes, that's awesome. But
this isn't it.
Oh,
this
no,
is not that.
it's definitely going to be deeper than that. And you're going to learn so much more about yourself. But then on the flip side, being and showing up and seeing who you're becoming instead of living in that fear is just so powerful.
Yeah. And you had even said, I believe that you had said, like, saying yes before you felt ready was one of the most impactful things that for your life, like that you can see like the impact that's made, because there was hesitation and you still said yes. And then it was like you just took another step. And of course you could have stopped at any point and be like, no, this isn't it. But you were trusting yourself in a way of just even saying yes to taking a step.
Mm-hmm. And with so many things in my life that have different new experiences, that's been true. Like if it's scary, I think there's another quote that says something like, if your dreams don't scare you, they're not big enough or something.
Right.
And it's very true, because you don't know what is going to unfold if you don't take a step in a different direction.
Yeah, I just did a group coaching on Thursday, and the line that everyone loved was that fear is the edge of fear is knowing that fear is the edge, like knowing you're near expansion.
Ooh.
So like it's right on the other side of that, for you to just step out and say like, okay, I'm afraid, I'm a little fearful, I'm a little unsure, and to even like cross the line and then be like, oh, this isn't a scary thing over here. I can live through this and grow. So, like win or learn.
Yes.
That's really what we're talking about.
And I think too, when traditionally or in the past I had thought of like a boudoir shoot, it was more that I was doing it for somebody, for my husband.
Yeah.
For him to have these pictures. And this time I was like, okay, you're gonna get some cool pictures too, but like this is an experience for me.
For sure.
That like I'm not doing this for you for like a gift of some sorts where that was where,
Bonus.
yeah,
That's a bonus.
yes, absolutely. But it was more for me, like what,
Mhm.
how is this going to help me grow? What am I going to learn about me from this?
Mhm. Yeah, that's so true. And that's always what I love about hearing you say that is that like that's been my work always. Like for 15 years of doing photography, that's what I've always said and like wanted for people to understand. Like, well, okay, I can't say 15, probably 10, because the first 5 years I wasn't doing a boudoir. I did not even know it was a thing for the first 5 years of being a photographer. Um, but since I've been in the boudoir side of photography, that has been my mission is to say, yeah, you can do it as a bonus for someone else, but this is first and foremost for you because I've always known that my work is so much deeper than only taking your photos. And this culmination of the coaching, the photography, and the podcast is truly what I'm here to do and serve women on such a deep level that scares the shit out of them and moves them to become a more elevated version of who they're meant to be because they're saying yes to these opportunities that they're by design they're supposed to be a little bit scary
Yes.
because you're growing through it.
Yep, absolutely.
So I love that. Okay, we're wrapping up, I promise. Okay. um so we're going to wrap up with depth. So this is more about like being seen, heard, and known. You said that this means everything to you and your inner child. What does that feel like now? And what would little Ashley say about who you've become?
I've reflected a lot about this, and I am so much showing up as parts of me, like little me was like told maybe not to show up, or that was like a too muchness,
Mm.
or maybe not enoughness. And knowing that all of that is okay and it's safe, and that little version of me is like looking at me like, oh my gosh, really? Like that is so cool. Like for one thing, like with different hair color, that was always something that I loved. And I teenage me probably did it like to a little bit
Rebellious.
be like, yeah, like screwing my parents a little bit. Cause I'm sure, they
Right.
probably didn't fully want me to do that. But now that I can wear whatever hair color I want and like show up and dress however I want
Right.
is so cool because like that wasn't always maybe a thing when I was younger. And it's just so neat to see that parts of me are like, yay, look at us.
Yeah. I love that. And that full expression. And
Mhm.
so I just hear you like
Yes,
full expression of
yes.
your hair, your clothes, like whatever avenue of expressing yourself that is, like having that freedom to
And that,
breathe more into that.
yes, freedom and the confidence to do it too and to show up as that person
Yeah.
who maybe wanted to for a long time, but was fearful.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I'm doing it.
I love it. I see you being willing to be seen strong, courageous, soft, like all of that. I see that so much for you and in you. And every time I talk to you or you're commenting on stuff, and I'm like, I see that through and through. Like I just feel that so much for you. And you didn't just, do an experience. You really became more of her.
Mhm.
And I'm so excited and proud and happy that we did this experience again and took a little deeper dive into what this is because there's a lot that goes into it for on your side of like processing. And I think that this is another layer of courage, just like revisit it to see like how is it moving in your life now and in you to keep stepping out and continue to, give that girl a vote and let her speak her mind and share her own truth.
Mhm. And the safe aspect, I think, too, in that, I think there were younger versions of me that didn't feel safe to maybe embody
Mhm.
that fully. So by saying yes, now I have again the proof that it's
Yeah.
safe to do that. Where that didn't maybe feel safe.
You're unleashed now. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
You're unleashed now, girl. You can be like, yeah, I can do it here. That means I can do it here in
Yes.
this area of my life. And continue to shine, Ashley, wherever you're called to do that and be a full expression of you. So thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
And
you
thank
for
you for mirroring too, that you see that. That's
absolutely
always helpful too. You know, getting feedback when you're only doing it for not
your own
yourself,
mirror.
but
No.
yeah. Yep. It's
Yeah,
good to
girl,
see that it's
work
like,
it. I love it. Okay, so for our listeners, if you are curious, when you're curious about the Muse experience or looking into this process for yourself, there's information in the show notes for you to check that out. I'll also have my link in there for setting up a one-on-one call with me to have a real conversation about this and what that looks like personally for you, if that's the avenue that you want to take. I would love to do that. And Ashley, I want to say thank you for bringing me into your studio, giving us the opportunity to do this in a new location, and just being willing to like continue to encourage other women to say yes, even when they don't know what it's going to be and how they're going to feel about it. But exempling that and being a leader in the fact that like you're doing hard, challenging things in your life on different ways, and that encouragement to other women to just say like you can do it.
yeah,
So
and just takes truly just those small steps and showing up for who you want to be.
mm-hmm. That
Because
identity.
that person that maybe you are now doesn't feel ready to be that person, but if you keep going, eventually, I
You
you
get
are
closer.
there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you get closer. You give her a vote, you give her a step, and you get closer to her by saying yes to those little things.
Mm-hmm.
So
And it's going to benefit everyone around you, not just yourself, obviously yourself, but it's truly going to just be so much better for everyone.
mm-hmm. And that's where the self-care stuff and like the self-love, it's like, oh, it's so selfish. And it's like, really? It's beneficial for everyone around you. So changing the perspective, working on that mindset shift, if that's something that you've thought is like, it's so selfish to do these things. I can't invest the money in these things for myself because of XYZ. Listen to these stories and think about and feel into the change that happens within, because that's really what we're doing. You know, you're investing the time and the energy into finding more of yourself and becoming more of who you want to be, not who someone else is telling you to be. I get to hold the space and I get to capture that and support you in continuing to step out in that in a way that doesn't have to be boom, here I am, but it can be. But it can be. So yeah, empower your journey, choose on purpose, and love yourself, live fearlessly, and do all things with purpose. Until next time.